Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I want to welcome you to Wisdom Wednesdays. And for those of you who always turn it on, you know I love you. And if it is your first time tuning in, I want you to click subscribe and that bell so that you can stay connected with me. And I want to welcome you to Sing. Shonda inspires nations to grow, and I do refer to my family as my singers or my VSPs, Vibrational Singing People. So I want to welcome you guys to Wisdom Wednesdays. As you can probably tell from my voice, I'm still feeling under the weather, but I'm so glad that you decided to tap in, tune in, and turn it on today. So I was thinking about what I wanted to talk to you guys about. You know, if you think about just as a whole, everything that you have possibly gone through in your life, some of us may even be amazed that we're still here, that we're still alive with all that we've gone through. Some of us should have been dead and gone and sleeping in our graves, but yet and still, God allowed us to stay. So when I thought about what I wanted to talk to you guys about, it was being born to win. Being born to win. And of course, I want to talk about, define what born is and what winning is. And then I want to talk about some of the phases and the process of becoming a winner. So if we're born, we're existing as a result of birth, having a natural ability to do a particular job or a task. We're perfectly suited or trained to do the job or a task, brought into existing as the result of a particular situation or feeling, destined from or as if from birth. And we're born to succeed. And if you win, you be successful or victorious in a conflict or a contest. You acquire or secure as a result of a contest, a conflict, or a bet. It's an endeavor, secure to gain something, collect. It's a victory, triumph. The winner of something, coming in first and just coming out on top, as a winner. And so when we think about winning or being born to win, everybody wants to win. But only some people are chosen, because it's a process to becoming a winner. And when I think about that, I think about John 1:4-5, that says, "For everyone who has been born of God overcomes the world, and this is the victory that has overcome the world, our faith. Who is it that overcomes the world except the one who believes that Jesus is the Son of God?" You can overcome through Jesus. And as I began to just research this and I thought about it, I'm like, winners are chosen, because it takes a certain type of person, a certain type of spirit to be a winner. And so when I thought about this, it led me over to Romans 8:30. "And those who are predestined, he also called. And those whom he called, he also justified. And those whom he justified, he also glorified." See, whenever a winner is in the midst, you don't have to worry about the ego being present, the easing God out of a situation. A winner can sit back in the midst of a crowd, and it's always something about them that stands out. We often wonder what that something is. And it is the aura, the smear of God, the residue of God on a winner. You don't have to worry about making money on something that God has chosen you to do. Because if it's something that you are chosen to do, you were born to win at doing it. And you'll always know if you're a winner and when you're chosen to do something. Yes, it is a process, and it's a time of sowing and reaping. But who God calls, he always qualifies. And you can always tell when God has his endorsement on someone, because money ain't an issue. Their needs are met beyond anything else. So that was the first thing that I thought about. Money ain't the focus for winners. God is the focus for winners. The second thing that I thought about is winners are made. That led me over to 1 Corinthians 9:24-27. That specifically states, "Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one receives the prize? So run that you may obtain it, and every athlete exercises self-control in all things. They do it to receive a perishable wreath, but we an imperishable. So I do not run aimlessly. I do not box as one beating the air, but I discipline my body and keep it under control, lest after preaching to others, I myself should be disqualified. See, winners are focused on the task at hand to edify and glorify God. They think about their actions. They're slow to react and slow to speak because they want to make sure that in all of their getting, that they get an understanding to project that love of God out to other people so that they can get an understanding. With a winner, it's never about them. It's never about them. It's always about Him that sent them. It's always, God is always the focus. So if you ever come across someone that makes everything about themselves and, oh yeah, I worked so hard and I studied hard and I've been at this for 15 years and, finally it paid off. That ain't a winner. That's self-reliance, self-centeredness. A winner gives God the glory in every situation. If it had not been for the Lord that was on my side, there's no way I would have made it. I ain't even qualified for this job, but God gave it to me. I don't need to be paid to play in your church, to sing at your church, to preach at your church, to teach at your church, to volunteer at your church. I give God the honor. I give God the glory. I am honored to do it. If I have the time, I'm honored to give my time for free because after all, my life is paid for. Jesus did it for me. I've got the victory. I'm born to win. See, that's how winners think. Then the final thing that I think about when I think about a winner is winners are just victorious. They're just victorious. And so that led me over to Revelations 1:17 through 18. When Christ said to John, don't be afraid. I am the first and the last, like Alpha and Omega, and ever living, like I'm living in the eternities of eternity. And I died, but see, I'm alive forevermore, and I possess the keys of death and Hades, the realm of dead. I have the key to it. See, winners understand that it's not about them, but it's about Jesus. And they understand that the reason why they're winners in the first place is that He overcame it all for them. I was thinking about my godmom this morning, and I was thinking about that time when my cousin Nikki came over to spend the night with us. Boy, that girl could skate. I was so mad because I just couldn't get it. I remember I talked them in to get me some skates. I remember that. And she told me the next day Nikki had gone home, and I was there, and I asked her to comb my hair. I had brushed my teeth, washed my face. It was like 7 o'clock in the morning. And I said, comb my hair so I could go outside and I skate. And as winners know, it's a process. She said that I fell down so many times that she thought at one point she was going to ask me to come in before I broke something. But something said, no, just let her keep at it. The next thing she knew, within a few hours, I was flying down that hill, ponytails flying backwards. And she said that she knew then that I would be a success. She said that she knew then, at the age of 6 years old, that I was born to win. And I know it's some of you out there that have stories like that. And the enemy has come in to rob you of your memories, of your stories in that way and in that capacity. But don't ever forget where you come from and where your burning desire originated from. Because you are born to win. You're born to win. I think about so many people throughout the Bible, even Adam and Eve in the beginning. They were born to win. They had absolutely everything. Did they fail? Yes, they did. Did they fall short? Yes, they did. Did they experience sin first? Yes, they did. Did they lose loved ones? Yes. Had a son to murder another son. They experienced it all, but they fell forward. God had a plan for them. It makes me think about Jesus. He felt every possible pain that we could ever imagine in the Gospels, if you read them or take the time to read about them. And it will open your eyes that He experienced the type of hurt and pain that's unimaginable. He was spit on, He was cursed and pierced by nails, hung heavenward. He was judged, He was ridiculed, betrayed, mocked, abandoned. Felt pain, He was lonely. Felt the shame, all of this, so that we may live and have life more abundantly. and so that we may live. The devil thought he won, but the triumph remains with Christ because he was born to win. And because we are in him, we are also born to win. Singers, I want you to think about some times in your life that you should have been dead and gone and sleeping in your grave. When you lost it all and you couldn't hide the fact that you did. When those you loved walked out on you and turned away. When your loved ones died, leaving you there wondering how you were going to make it. When you had nowhere else to go. When you had no one to call. When you had no one to rescue you. When you thought you would lose your mind. When you were sick in your body. When no one understood your pain. When you couldn't raise your head because of guilt and shame. When you invested 10 years in a relationship and still didn't receive that ring. When you outperformed others on your job and you didn't get that promotion. When you were devoted to your children and they turned their backs on you and talked to you like you're nothing and walked away. When you were loyal to your friends that betrayed you, hurt you, and gossiped about you. When you provided for spouses for years and years and they turned and walked away from you. When you believed the lies and you were still left behind. When you gave it your all, and I mean your all, and it still wasn't good enough. Yeah, I understand exactly how that feels. But you can also think about those times when you took a licking and you kept on ticking. You can still think about the times when you had hope and you had joy and you still had a smile on your face, a song in your heart. You kept getting stronger after every trial. You kept prospering. You kept being blessed. You kept having a word. You kept serving. You kept praying. You kept creating. You kept believing. You kept getting up over and over and over and over and over again to the point where Satan and his imps were so frustrated to see you rise in the morning because they knew that they had a problem on their hands. Why? Because you were born to win. You are a prototype of the image of God, a masterpiece designed for his splendor. You were chosen before the foundations of this earth. You were the one that Christ hung on that cross and died and rose and came back to show the prints in his hands and the piercing on his side. You were the reason that he went and got the keys from Hades. Yes, and has the keys to eternal life. You were born to win. Don't ever let anyone discourage you. Don't ever let a situation bring you down. Don't ever give up on you. Because if nothing else, think about the one who created you. You are fearfully, beautifully made in the image of God. Why? Because you were born to win. I love you guys. Have a great week. Bye now.